If you're LDS, I don't think you're going to enjoy this video because I'm talking about the things that let me out of the church, and I want you to know. Also, I'm really excited about today because this is where Mikkel comes into the story. She is my life and she's lovely. In the last video, I talked about how I ended up telling my ex that we needed to break up and how I called my dad letting him know that I was gonna come to their place. I needed somebody to be able to talk to, and I remember that I had a friend that we had talked a bit here and there, but she had gone through a recent breakup, and so I figured that she would be a good person to talk to. So I reached out and she answered, and her name is Mikkel. And she immediately dropped everything. She told me, like, meet me here and we'll talk. We were able to relate very quickly, and she was able to just help me on a level that I just didn't know I needed. So at this point, Mikkel and I started hanging out a lot more together. We were working in the same place, that's how we became friends. And now she was kind of checking in on me a little bit more, right? And we started talking more, and I started opening up about how shitty my relationship had been, and she's kind of trying to help me through things. But as I started feeling more sure that I was making the right decision, Mikkel started asking me questions about religion. And she started asking me about why I left the LDS church, and all of a sudden I realized that I don't know why I left the LDS church. I just left because my ex asked me to, right? But now I knew that I no longer wanted to come back, so I had homework all of a sudden. So I go home and I start thinking about how I feel and why do I feel certain things, and I realized that the main issue that I had was the racism that is a part of the LDS church history, right? Whether it's with the blacks in the priesthood, or with the Native Americans, or with Lamanites. I realized that I was not okay with any of that, because I felt like if God were a loving human, then he would make sure that his commandments or his teachings reflected that of not hating somebody else because of the way they looked or their ethnicity or what have you. One of the main reasons for why I'm so grateful for Mikkel is because A, she was my best friend before we became romantic, and B, because she started asking me questions that forced me to figure out how I felt about things, and it gave me the space to really understand my position on different topics and really start to rediscover myself.